Guys, and welcome back to another episode of Wizard 101 for old folks. So, this time we want to talk a little bit about the updates for the fall and what you can do to get prepared for Karamelle. Now, I've been in Karamelle, I've played the first part of it just to get an idea of what we're up against and what we're going to need to do to get prepared to go into Karamelle. And there are a few things that stand out. So, we all know because everyone's been talking about the fact that crit and block are being changed. In the test realm right now, it's broken. It's not working correctly, even the way that they're wanting it to work. But understanding how crit is going to change may mean that we need to really boost strength on our characters instead of depending on crit to wipe out all the bad guys and be done. So I would suggest that you look for statistics that are strength heavy so that when you're fighting all the monsters in Karamelle that you don't have to depend on crit. Another thing that I did notice is that not just with me but with all the other players that was with me while we were playing, we also had an issue with a lot of fizzling going on. So apparently in Karamelle, we're going to have issues with fizzling. There was one other world, I can't remember, was it Polaris that everybody was fizzling so much? And we were like, oh my gosh. So you might boost your accuracy statistics on your gear as well so that we don't end up with a lot of fizzling going on. Now, Karamelle is absolutely a very cute world. It does not seem to be overlong. A lot of the YouTubers that were going through it to get ideas for you guys, I noticed it took them probably a total of around 9 hours or so to complete the entire main quest line worlds, and some of them even did the side quest in there. It's a very cute storyline. I think you'll all enjoy it very much. And there were some of the most precious little characters introduced in here. Kind of reminded me of Disneyland when you first walked in. Because, well, Disney World and Disneyland both have that theme park kind of thing going on, and it even had like the ride lines and things like that. So it was really cute. Love the concept. Very nice. So they had a few different areas in Caramel to explore, and they also still had some of our normal things that we run into, the wood chest, a few new reagents that I noticed, some on the ground that you just pick up, and some that are given to you in the battles. What I did notice that I was a little disappointed in is the fact that there's not a whole lot of new rewards. You would think in Caramel there would be new seeds, but there weren't. There were just the same rewards that I noticed we always got with the battles in the other worlds. It was the same seeds, it was the same rewards, the same reagents. There were a few new reagents, and you notice that in some of the new recipes that are going to be available to craft. Others have talked about the new recipes for gear that are so close to Dragoon gear, that sort of thing, which is great. And it does require some new reagents to do that. And I did notice a few new reagents. But that was about it as far as having new or different kind of things like plants and whatnot as rewards. I don't know. There were some new spells, and you do get the new spells right off the bat as you're coming into Caramel, so you don't have to wait until you level up so far to get your new spells, and that was relatively easy to get before you ever even actually entered. Of course, when you first come in, they send you through a quest just like they did with all the other worlds. You have to go this time to Bastion in Chrysalis to do that, and that will open up your way to get to Karamelle to begin. So that was all really a lot of great fun. Now, let's see. I talked a little bit about the new spells and their effects. The one that most everyone is disappointed in is the new death spell because it, number one, it's just gross. The spell itself is the gobbler spell, and it's not even a cute gobbler spell, and it doesn't give you any of that iconic get life back. So there's a lot of disappointment on that spell. The other spells are really fun. I really enjoyed those. There is a new update coming that allows you to lend pets when you're hatching instead of, one of the big problems with hatching was that if we had a low level pet and we wanted to hatch it with a high level pet, our only option was to go to the hatchmaking kiosk to do that, because if you asked people that had high level pets, they didn't want to end up with number one, having to spend their own gold, excuse me, or number two, having to use up their hatching timer. And number three, they know that if they hatch with a lower degree of pet, they're going to be getting back what they would call a trash pet, one that they couldn't do anything with. So they would just end up having to sell that pet or trash that pet. So it was total waste for them and it cost them. Now they don't have that problem. They can go into the hatchery and get on the circles just like they were going to, but instead they would get this square that pops up asking them if they want to hatch the pet or if they want to lend the pet to the other player, and then they would just click lend pet and it would not cost them any of their gold, it would not use up their hatch timer, and it would not give them a trash pet in return, so they're not at any loss. And if they do lend the pet to do a hatch, they actually get rewards for doing that. I think that's a fabulous idea. Way to go, KI, on that, because some of those rewards include hatch peppers. And in the hatchery, the guy at the front, I never can think of his name. Anyway, he offers things that you can actually spend those peppers on. One of those is actually getting your own hatchmaking kiosk to put in your home, which sounds like great fun. So I think that's a wonderful idea to give rewards to these higher players that are so talented at making these wonderful pets, and now may have more of a chance of letting us hatch with them. Isn't that great? I think that's wonderful. So there are some castle tour improvements being made and ways to earn new badges and rating the houses. All kinds of fun things look like coming out there. There's also some new castle magics going to be happening. Ways to put in invisible floors and walls, placeable world gates. That sounds like a lot of fun, and you should be able to move your bank around in your house to wherever you want it. That'll be a lot of fun. What else do we have? New ways to move pets around and mounts and making them float in the air. They've added some more signs for us. That will be a lot of fun in our houses. some new henchmen, and they're retiring some henchmen that weren't used a whole lot. They haven't worked out the problems with the crit system. I told you about that, so we're going to have to wait a little on that. Beastmoon. I have had so much fun with Beastmoon, and I've made a couple of videos to help you guys out in understanding how to play Beastmoon. And now we have the new Beastmoon Monster Mayhem events. Had a lot of fun with that. With the exception that I am with every other player that plays this event, there is not enough time. We can come close. We can really do it. We can come very, very close. They just need to add about 5 more minutes onto each level of that Monster Mayhem for the regular players that are playing, because sometimes it's just not quite enough time to get us there. And of course, the whole thing on playing that event is being speedy and quick. And sometimes, well, more often than not, we're getting players that will come in and actually take up one of the Beastmoon forms, but then they'll just spin themselves and not be involved in any of the fighting and whatnot. And that really spoils the fun for everyone. So that's something that they need to work out. We have been able to report those players. That helps a little bit because they can't, once it's investigated, they take them out of the rotation and they can't play anymore, and that helps some. But there's always things that could be improved on that, but it's an awful lot of fun to do, an awful lot of fun to play. And now they're supposed to be moving the Mayhem event into some of the new maps, so that'll be a little different and fun. And we've added in some more new forms. Some of these look like they'll be great. Of course, during the Mayhem event, you really need hard-hitting forms the most, and maybe some that can heal you and hit at the same time. But these new forms look like they will be really a lot of fun to play with. There's some new monstrology categories coming out, and there's a new Crown Shop delivery invoice, so that if you bought something but you're not sure if you actually bought it, or if you've got crowns missing and you can't remember what you bought, there is a new inventory system that should be able to show you that. And of course, the butler can help you find it. Love the backpack butler. You can buy him right there in the shopping district, and he's great. Other than that, there was just some miscellaneous updates that they were doing. It looks like a big update. Looks like we'll have a lot of fun with it. I hope I've laid out some of the outlines for you guys, and I hope you have a lot of fun in the new city of Karamelle. If you have any ideas or suggestions as well for the new updates, pop them down below. And until next time, be sure you're subscribed so that you'll catch all the videos as they come out. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you later. Bye.